The massive screens in Earth's Global Defense Command Center flickered with unusual patterns. Marcus Reed stood before them, his tired eyes fixed on the strange signals coming from the edge of the solar system. For 3 days straight, he had been tracking these patterns, and something about them made his skin crawl. "Sir, you need to see this," Marcus called out to his superior, Captain Walker, who was doing his usual morning rounds. The older man walked over, coffee cup in hand, his gray hair neatly combed despite the early hour. "What have you got, Reed?" "These signals, sir. They're not random space noise. There's a pattern here that repeats every 6 hours. Look." Marcus pointed to the screen, where green lines pulsed in regular intervals. "Whatever this is, it's artificial." Captain Walker put down his coffee and leaned closer to the screen. In his 30 years of service, he had never seen anything quite like this. "How long has this been going on?" 3 days, sir. But here's the interesting part. The signals are getting stronger. Whatever's out there is getting closer." High above Earth's atmosphere, military satellites quietly tracked multiple objects moving at impossible speeds. These objects had appeared out of nowhere, bypassing all the early warning systems except for Marcus's Deep Space Monitoring Station. Meanwhile, in the grand halls of the Galactic Empire's Central Command, Supreme Commander Vale stood before the Council, his golden uniform gleaming under the artificial lights. "We have found another civilization," he announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. "A primitive one, but one that shows promise." The council members, representing the 12 most powerful species in the Empire, looked down from their high seats with mild interest. They had seen countless civilizations come and go, all eventually bowing before the Empire's might. "Where is this civilization?" asked Council Leader Thex, his blue skin shimmering as he spoke. "In a small solar system, far from our regular trade routes," Vale replied. "They call their planet Earth. They have basic space flight capabilities, primitive weapons, and are just beginning to understand faster-than-light communications." The council members shared knowing looks. They had dealt with such civilizations before. "Your recommendation?" Thex asked, though they all knew the answer. "Standard procedure. We send a diplomatic fleet to offer them a choice: join the Empire or face the consequences." Back on Earth, the situation was escalating. Marcus's discovery had sparked a chain of emergency meetings across the globe. In the United Nations Security Council chamber, military leaders from various nations gathered to discuss the implications. Admiral James Stone, commander of Earth's newly formed United Defense Force, stood before the assembly. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone, and whoever is out there is coming our way. Our deep space monitors have detected at least 30 large objects moving towards Earth. Their technology is far beyond anything we've ever seen." The room erupted in worried murmurs. A Chinese general raised his hand. "What are our options?" Admiral Stone's face remained stern. "We activate Protocol Omega. For the past decade, we've been preparing for this possibility. Every major nation has contributed to a hidden defense network. It's time to power it up." In orbit, thousands of seemingly inactive satellites suddenly came to life. Hidden weapons platforms emerged from their dormant state, and secret space stations activated their cloaking shields. The Empire's scout ships, approaching Earth with supreme confidence, had no idea they were being watched. Their scans showed only a primitive civilization with basic space capabilities, exactly what the Empire expected to find. What they couldn't see were the preparations being made below. In underground bases across the planet, soldiers suited up in advanced armor that had never seen the light of day. Ships that had been hidden in underground hangars powered up their engines. Weapons that had been developed in secret were loaded and primed. Marcus Reed, still at his monitoring station, watched as the signals grew stronger. "They're coming," he whispered to himself, "but we're ready." The warning signs were clear. Humanity's first interstellar war was about to begin, and the Galactic Empire was about to learn a harsh lesson about judging a species by its apparent level of technology. The question wasn't whether Earth would fight. It was whether the Empire was ready for what humans could do when pushed into a corner. The Empire's diplomatic fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Earth's moon. 12 massive ships, each larger than Earth's biggest cities, appeared in a perfect formation. Their golden hulls gleamed in the sunlight, designed to inspire awe in primitive species. In the lead ship, Fleet Commander Vale smiled as he looked at the blue planet through his view screen. Such a beautiful world. Soon it will be another jewel in the Empire's crown. His second-in-command, Officer Dax, stepped forward. "Sir, we're detecting numerous small satellites and space stations. Should we destroy them?" "No need," Vale replied. "Let them watch. Let them see our power. Send the standard greeting message." On Earth, every screen, phone, and communication device suddenly displayed the same message. The Empire's massive hologram appeared in the skies above every major city. Vale's face, alien yet humanoid, looked down upon billions of humans. "People of Earth," his voice boomed in perfect English. "We are the Galactic Empire, rulers of 10,000 worlds. Your civilization has been deemed worthy of our attention. Submit to our rule, and you shall enjoy the benefits of our advanced civilization. Resist, and you shall be removed." In the Global Defense Command Center, Admiral Stone watched the message with a grim expression. Around him, military officers from different nations waited for his response. The plan they had prepared for years was about to be tested. "Send our reply," Stone ordered. Marcus Reed, still at his station, pressed a series of buttons. The response was simple: "We don't negotiate with terrorists. Leave our solar system immediately." In his ship, Vale laughed when he received Earth's message. Brave words from a primitive species. Launch the demonstration strike. Target their largest military base. Show them what real power looks like. The Empire's ships charged their main weapons, massive cannons designed to break planets. What they didn't expect was Earth's response. Hidden defense platforms suddenly dropped their cloaking shields. Thousands of advanced weapons, developed in secret over decades, powered up. Admiral Stone's voice was cold as he gave the order: "Execute Defense Pattern Alpha." The Empire's first shot never came. As their weapons charged, Earth's defense grid activated. Hundreds of electromagnetic pulse beams hit the Empire's ships simultaneously. Their advanced shields, never designed to handle such primitive yet effective weapons, flickered and failed. "Impossible," Vale shouted as his ship's systems began shutting down. "They're primitives. How do they have such weapons?" Officer Dax's voice was panicked. "Sir, we're detecting launches from Earth. Thousands of them." Earth's hidden fleet rose from secret bases around the planet. Leading them was Commander Lisa Black in the stealth ship Shadow. Her voice crackled over the secure channel. "All units, engage as planned. Show them how humans fight." The battle that followed was nothing like the Empire expected. Instead of facing primitive missiles and basic energy weapons, their ships were swarmed by advanced fighters using technologies the Empire had never seen. Earth's ships were smaller but incredibly fast and agile. Their weapons, Vale gasped as he watched 3 of his ships fall to Earth's attack. "They're using gravity weapons and directed energy beams. How do they hide this from us?" Commander Black's voice broadcast across all channels. "You made 3 mistakes. First, you threatened us. Second, you thought we'd show you all our cards. Third, you gave us time to prepare." The battle lasted less than an hour. Of the Empire's 12 ships, 5 were destroyed, 4 were disabled, and 3 barely managed to escape back into faster-than-light travel. Earth's forces had suffered losses, but the victory was decisive. In the aftermath, Admiral Stone stood before the United Nations. "Today, we showed the galaxy that humanity will not bow to threats. But this is just the beginning. The Empire will return, and next time, they won't underestimate us." Marcus Reed, watching from his station, saw the retreating Empire ships vanish into deep space. He knew they would carry a message back to their leaders, a message that would shake the Empire to its core. Humans were not to be trifled with. The first battle was over, but the war was just beginning. Earth had revealed some of its strength, but not all of it. As Admiral Stone had always said, never show your full hand until you absolutely have to. The Empire was about to learn why humans were the galaxy's best-kept secret. The Empire's central command was in chaos. For the first time in 500 years, an Imperial fleet had been defeated. The council chamber, usually a place of calm discussion, now echoed with angry shouts and demands for action. Supreme Commander Vale stood before them, his golden uniform now wrinkled and stained. "The humans," he reported, his voice shaking. "They were ready for us. They had weapons we've never seen before, tactics we couldn't predict." Council Leader Thex slammed his fist on the table. "Impossible. Our scans showed them to be primitive. How do they hide their true strength?" In the back of the chamber, military analyst Rex stepped forward. "Sir, I believe I know their secret. They showed us what they wanted us to see. While we watched their public space program, they built a hidden one. While we monitored their known military bases, they created secret ones. They knew we were coming." Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Lisa Black's stealth fleet was already deep in Empire territory. Her ships, painted with light-absorbing black paint and wrapped in sensor-blocking materials, moved silently between the stars. "All ships maintain radio silence," she whispered into her secure comm. "Remember your training. We're not here to fight. We're here to gather intelligence." Her fleet had followed the retreating Empire ships, jumping through the same faster-than-light paths they had used. It was a dangerous mission, but it would give Earth crucial information about their enemy. Back on Earth, Admiral Stone reviewed the battle data with his top officers. "Look here," he pointed to a holographic display. "Their ships are powerful, but they're predictable. They fight like they haven't had a real challenge in centuries." General Robert Wilson nodded. "They rely too much on their advanced technology. They've forgotten the basics of warfare. Adaptation, surprise, and deception." "Exactly," Stone smiled. "And that's why we're going to teach them a lesson they'll never forget." In orbit around Earth, workers in spacesuits repaired damaged defense platforms, while engineers studied captured Empire ships. Inside one of these ships, Marcus Reed worked with a team of scientists, decoding the Empire's computer systems. "It's amazing," he told Captain Walker over the radio. "Their technology is advanced, but it's stagnant. They haven't improved it in hundreds of years. They haven't needed to." Suddenly, Earth's deep space sensors lit up. A massive Empire fleet, 10 times larger than the first one, appeared at the edge of the solar system. This time, they didn't bother with diplomacy. All ships, battle stations. Admiral Stone's voice boomed through every command center. "Execute Operation Ghost Dance." The Empire fleet charged forward, expecting to find Earth's defenses where they had been during the first battle. But humans had learned long ago not to fight the same way twice. When the Empire ships reached Earth's orbit, they found nothing. No defense platforms, no stationed fleets, not even the captured ships from the first battle. Earth looked completely defenseless. "This is suspicious," the Empire's new fleet commander said. "Where are their weapons?" The answer came from behind them. Earth's entire defense fleet had used the Empire's own scanning blind spots, weaknesses discovered by Commander Black's stealth mission, to hide behind the moon. They emerged all at once, catching the Empire fleet in a massive crossfire. "Now," Admiral Stone ordered, "show them why you never corner a human." Earth's ships attacked from all directions, using maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. They had studied the Empire's weapons and developed countermeasures. They had analyzed their shield frequencies and found ways to bypass them. They had learned, adapted, and improved. Everything the Empire had forgotten how to do. The battle was brutal but decisive. The Empire's mighty fleet, which had conquered countless worlds, found itself torn apart by human ingenuity and determination. As the last Empire ships retreated, Admiral Stone received an urgent message from Commander Black's stealth fleet. "Sir, you won't believe what we found. The Empire, they're vulnerable. They have no defense against attacks they've never seen before. And we found allies, other species who want to break free from Empire control." The Empire had made their biggest mistake. They had survived for so long as the strongest power that they had forgotten how to face a real challenge. But humans had been challenging themselves, preparing for this moment, for their entire history. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why you should never underestimate a species that had spent its entire existence learning how to fight and survive. General Robert Wilson stood before a holographic map showing hundreds of Empire worlds. Thanks to Commander Black's stealth mission, Earth now had detailed information about the Empire's territory. More importantly, they knew its weaknesses. The Empire has ruled for so long, Wilson explained to the gathered military leaders, that they've built their defenses facing outward. They never expected an attack from within. Admiral Stone nodded, and that's exactly why our next move will shock them. "Commander Black, show them what you found." Commander Black stepped forward, her black stealth suit still bearing scorch marks from her recent mission. "During our scouting, we discovered 17 species who hate the Empire. They've been waiting for a chance to fight back. Now, they want to join us." The holographic map changed, showing new points of light, hidden rebel bases, and secret resistance movements scattered throughout Empire space. Each one was a potential ally, waiting for the right moment to strike. Marcus Reed, now promoted to Intelligence Director, brought up new data on the screen. "We've fully decoded their technology. The Empire hasn't improved their weapons in 300 years. They thought they were perfect." He smiled. "We've already made them better." In orbit above Earth, hundreds of ships were being upgraded with reverse-engineered Empire technology combined with human innovations. The captured Empire ships had been completely rebuilt, improved with Earth's more creative designs. "Launch Operation Thunderstrike," Admiral Stone ordered. "All ships, commence jump sequence." Earth's fleet vanished into faster-than-light travel, but not all at once. They jumped in small groups, using the paths Commander Black had mapped, paths the Empire didn't know existed. Each group had a different target, and each carried something the Empire had never seen before: hope for the oppressed. The first strike hit an Empire shipyard. The guards only saw a few small ships appear and thought nothing of it. Then those ships released thousands of tiny drones, each carrying an electromagnetic pulse weapon designed to disable without destroying. "Remember," Wilson's voice came through the secure channel, "we're not here to destroy. We're here to show the Empire's subjects that they can be beaten." Within hours, the largest shipyard in the Empire was under Earth's control. The workers, members of a species that had been enslaved for generations, eagerly joined the human forces. The Empire's response was slow and confused. They had never faced an enemy that attacked multiple targets at once. They had never seen ships that could appear and disappear at will, using stealth technology that Earth had perfected over decades of preparation. On an Empire colony world, a group of Earth's ships appeared above the capital city. Instead of attacking, they'd broadcast a message: "We are humans from Earth. We bring you a choice, real choice for the first time in centuries. Join us and be free." The response was immediate. The colonial governor tried to call for help, but their communication systems mysteriously failed, thanks to Marcus Reed's cyber warfare team. The people rose up, led by resistance fighters who had been waiting for this moment. Back in the Empire's central command, panic was spreading. Reports came in from across their territory. Simultaneous uprisings, disabled defense systems, captured shipyards, and colonies declaring independence. How? Council leader Thex demanded. How are they doing this? The answer came from an unexpected source: a young Empire tactical officer who had studied Earth's history. "Sir, humans have spent their entire history fighting. not just enemies but themselves. They've had to think about war from every angle. While we've been standing still, they've been learning, preparing, improving. Admiral Stone watched the reports come in from his command ship. Earth's forces hadn't just beaten the Empire's military. They had shown their subjects that the Empire wasn't invincible. Phase 1 complete. Commander Black reported. The Empire's outer worlds are in chaos. Their supply lines are cut. Their communications are compromised. Should we proceed with Phase 2? Stone looked at the tactical display. The Empire's mighty territory was now filled with pockets of rebellion, resistance, and revolution. Their perfectly ordered system was falling apart. Proceed, he ordered. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity doesn't just fight wars. We win them. And we win them by making allies, not slaves. The Empire had thought they were dealing with primitives. Instead, they had awakened a species that had turned warfare into an art form. And now that art was being used to dismantle their empire, piece by piece. The Empire's Grand Council chamber, once a symbol of absolute power, now echoed with sounds of argument and fear. 12 council members shouted over each other while emergency reports flashed on the massive screens behind them. 20 systems in rebellion, one councilor shouted. 30 shipyards captured, yelled another. Our outer defenses are worthless, a third screamed. Council leader Thex slammed his ceremonial staff against the floor, creating silence. Where, he asked quietly, is our mighty fleet? The answer came from a junior officer who looked like he hadn't slept in days. Scattered, sir. The humans. They're not fighting like anyone we've ever faced. They appear, strike, and vanish. Our ships chase shadows while their real forces hit somewhere else. In deep space, Commander Lisa Black's stealth fleet slipped between Empire patrol routes. Her ships now carried representatives from 7 different alien species, all former Empire subjects who had joined the human cause. The Empire built their power on fear, she told her crew. We're breaking that power with hope. Meanwhile, on a captured Empire world, General Wilson met with resistance leaders in an underground bunker. The aliens looked nothing like humans. Some had scales, others had multiple eyes, and one species was made mostly of crystal. But they all shared one thing, a desire for freedom. For centuries, a crystal being said, its voice creating patterns of light, we thought the Empire was unbeatable. Then you humans showed us the truth. Wilson spread a holographic map on the table. The Empire's strength was always an illusion. They relied on everyone being too afraid to fight back. Now, look what happens when we fight together. The map showed hundreds of red points where rebellions had broken out. The Empire's territory was breaking apart from within. Back on the Empire's capital world, Marcus Reed had infiltrated their central database disguised as a maintenance worker. The Empire's arrogance made it easy. They never expected a primitive species to attempt such a bold move. I'm in, he whispered into his hidden communicator, downloading their defense protocols now. You won't believe this. They haven't changed their security codes in 50 years. Admiral Stone received the data on his command ship. Perfect, he said. Now we know exactly how their capital defenses work. Send word to all Allied forces. Operation Daybreak begins in 6 hours. In the Empire's council chamber, the crisis reached its peak. Half the council members wanted to negotiate with the humans. The other half demanded they use their planet-destroying weapons to make an example of Earth. If we use those weapons, a wise old counselor warned, we'll lose everything. Already, 23 species have joined the humans. Use planet killers, and the rest will turn against us too. Council leader Thex knew he was right, but his pride wouldn't let him admit it. Send everything we have left to Earth. Crush their homeworld. Show the galaxy what happens to those who defy us. But when the order went out, something unprecedented happened. 3/4 of the remaining Empire fleet refused to move. We will not attack Earth, the fleet commanders announced. We've seen how they fight. They disable rather than destroy. They free rather than conquer. They're better rulers than you. The Empire's internal communications exploded with similar messages. Police forces refused to suppress rebellions. Colonial governors declared independence. Military units switched sides. How is this possible? Thex whispered, watching his empire crumble. We had everything. Power, technology, control. But you never had loyalty, said a voice from the shadows. Marcus Reed stepped out, having recorded everything. You had fear, humans. We build loyalty. Even with aliens who look nothing like us. We build trust. As if to prove his point, the capital's defenses suddenly shut down. Commander Black's stealth fleet appeared in the sky, accompanied by ships from 30 different alien species. The Empire's greatest crisis wasn't losing battles. It was facing the truth. They had built their power on fear and control, while humans built their strength on adaptation and alliance. Now, as their capital world's defenses fell and their own forces turned against them, the Empire's leaders finally understood their fatal mistake. They had not just started a war with humans, they had shown the galaxy a better way to live. And that was something no empire could fight against. The Empire's capital world looked different now. Its once golden towers were dark, its defensive shields were down, and its skies were filled with ships from dozens of different species. Above them, all flew Earth's flag, not as a symbol of conquest, but as a banner of freedom. Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of his command ship, looking down at the planet below. Commander Black's stealth fleet had positioned itself around the capital's main government district, while General Wilson's forces secured the ground with help from local allies. Status report, Stone ordered. Marcus Reed, still in his disguise but now operating from the Empire's own control center, responded quickly. 80% of Empire military forces have surrendered. The remaining 20% are trapped in isolated pockets. More importantly, sir, I found something in their secure archives. What is it? The location of their planet killer weapons. 3 hidden bases, each with enough firepower to destroy a solar system. If any of their loyal commanders reach those bases. Stone's face hardened. Send the coordinates to Commander Black. This ends now. In the council chamber, now under Earth's control, Council Leader Thex and his loyal followers were surrounded by their own people. Former slaves, oppressed species, and even Empire citizens who had joined the human cause filled the room. You still don't understand what you've done wrong, do you? Asked a former Empire general who had switched sides. You ruled through fear, humans. They lead through respect. Thex spat on the ground. They're primitives. They only won because they tricked us. Our loyal forces will activate the planet killers. And then, a screen lit up behind him, showing Commander Black's face. You mean these planet killers? The image changed to show 3 massive space stations, each now surrounded by Earth's ships and their allies. We found them. All of them. Your last hope is gone. In deep space, these planet killer bases faced something they had never been designed to handle: human ingenuity. Commander Black's stealth ships had approached using the Empire's own identification codes, downloaded by Marcus during his infiltration. All ships, execute Plan Omega, Black ordered. Her fleet launched special devices, not weapons, but advanced computer viruses designed by Earth's best programmers. The planet killers' systems were ancient and hadn't been updated in centuries. They never stood a chance. One by one, the mighty weapons fell silent, their control systems completely wiped clean. The Empire's last resort was now useless. Back on Earth, the United Nations received the news with relief. Humanity's first interstellar war was coming to an end, but not in the way anyone had expected. They hadn't just defeated an empire, they had transformed it. Admiral Stone addressed the gathered representatives of 37 species, including reformed Empire citizens. We could destroy your capital. We could dismantle your civilization. We could do to you what you planned to do to us. The room was silent, waiting. But that's not why we fought. We fought because everyone deserves freedom. Everyone deserves a chance to choose their own path. General Wilson stepped forward with a document. This is our proposal. Not surrender terms, but a new beginning. A galactic council, where every species has an equal voice, where advancement comes through cooperation, not conquest. The former Empire subjects couldn't believe what they were hearing. They had expected Earth to become the new Empire, to take control just as their previous rulers had done. Instead, humans were offering something entirely different, a chance to build something together. Commander Black, watching from her ship, smiled as she saw former enemies shaking hands, different species learning to work together, and a new order being born from the ashes of the old. Marcus Reed, finally removing his disguise, sent one last message from the Empire's control center. Mission accomplished. The age of Empire is over. The age of Alliance begins. The turning point wasn't just military victory. It was the moment when the galaxy realized that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their weapons or their tactics. It was their ability to turn enemies into allies, to build rather than destroy, to lead rather than rule. The Empire had started this war expecting to crush a primitive species. Instead, they had helped create something entirely new. A galaxy where different species worked together, where power came from cooperation rather than fear, and where even former enemies could become friends. The final battle wasn't fought with weapons. It was won with an idea, that freedom and cooperation were stronger than any empire could ever be. 5 years had passed since the war ended. The former empire's capital world now hosted the headquarters of the new Galactic Alliance. The building, once a symbol of empire power, had been rebuilt with elements from all member species' architectures, including Earth's. Admiral Stone, now serving as Earth's representative to the Alliance Council, walked through its grand halls. Beside him floated a crystalline being from the Centauri system, while behind them walked a scaled representative from the Outer Rim worlds. "Did you ever imagine this?" the crystalline being asked, its voice creating beautiful light patterns. "5 years ago, we were all enemies. Now look at us." Stone smiled, remembering the final days of the war. Humans have a saying, "The best victory is one where you gain a friend instead of destroying an enemy." In Earth's orbit, Commander Black's former stealth ships now served as training vessels. She watched as pilots from 30 different species learned Earth's combat techniques, not for war, but for defense and peacekeeping. "Remember," she told her alien students, "technology isn't what makes a force strong. It's how you think, how you adapt, and most importantly, how you work together." On the ground, Marcus Reed had turned the Empire's former intelligence headquarters into the Galactic Information Exchange. Species that once hoarded their knowledge now shared it freely. The result was an explosion of new innovations, combining the best ideas from across the galaxy. "Look at this," Reed said to Captain Walker, showing him a holographic display. The crystal being's light technology combined with human computer systems. The Outer Rim species' energy production methods improved with Earth's efficiency designs. "We've made more progress in 5 years than the Empire did in 5 centuries. General Wilson, leading the new Galactic Defense Force, stood before a mixed group of human and alien officers. The Empire's warning about humans was right, but for the wrong reasons. They warned everyone to run from us because we were dangerous. Now the galaxy knows to come to us because we know how to work together." In the Alliance Council chamber, former Council leader Thex, now serving as a regular representative of his people, addressed the assembly. "I was wrong about humans," he admitted. "We thought their primitive status made them weak. Instead, their struggles made them strong. They taught us that true power comes from unity, not control." The chamber buzzed with activity as representatives from hundreds of worlds discussed trade agreements, scientific projects, and cultural exchanges. Problems that had seemed impossible under the Empire were being solved through cooperation. On Earth, the United Nations Hall displayed flags from both Earth nations and alien worlds. Admiral Stone gave his annual report. 5 years ago, We faced extinction. Today, we help lead a galactic community. Our population has access to medicines that once only the Empire elite could use. Our scientists work with beings we never knew existed. Our children grow up knowing they're part of something greater than just one world. Commander Black's voice came through the communication system. Incoming ships detected new species from beyond former Empire space. They're requesting contact. The room grew quiet. Everyone remembered how first contact with the Empire had gone. But things were different now. Send them our standard greeting, Stone ordered. Let them know they're meeting not just humans, but the Galactic Alliance. The new ships entered peaceful orbit. Their crews were amazed to find not the Empire they'd heard rumors about, but a thriving community of different species working together. Welcome to Alliance Space, Stone's message went out. We have a saying on Earth. A rising tide lifts all boats. That's how we work here. Together, we all rise. Marcus Reed, watching from his office, added one final entry to the historical record. The Empire once warned everyone to run from humans. Now the galaxy runs to us, not in fear, but in hope. We didn't just win a war. We helped build a better future. As the new ships landed and their crews joined the growing galactic community, the truth became clear. The Empire's warning about humans had become the galaxy's promise of hope. If you find humans, don't run away. Run toward them. Because where humans go, freedom, innovation, and cooperation follow. The war that began with a warning to run from humans had ended with an invitation to join them. And across the galaxy, species that once feared each other now work together, proving that humanity's greatest victory wasn't defeating an empire, it was building something better in its place.